Mary of Bethany is a figure who graces the pages of the New Testament with a quiet presence but a profound impact. Her story, mentioned in different passages of the Gospels, reveals a woman of unwavering devotion, spiritual insight, and love that transcended the cultural boundaries of her time. Her name has become synonymous with true worship and spiritual understanding. In this text, we delve into her life, her actions, and how she became an eternal symbol of faith. Bethany, the home of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, was a small village about 3 kilometers from Jerusalem at the foot of the Mount of Olives. Its proximity to the holy city made this family's house a strategic resting place for Jesus and his disciples. It wasn't uncommon for teachers and travelers to find refuge in the homes of friends during their journeys. For Jesus, the home of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus seemed to be a genuine place of rest, where he could recharge amidst the demands of his ministry. More than a physical dwelling, this home symbolized a space of warmth and intimacy where Jesus' humanity was comforted by friendship and hospitality. The first significant account of Mary is in Luke 10 verses 38 to 42, when Jesus visits their home. Martha, her sister, is busy serving and taking care of preparations. In contrast, Mary is sitting at Jesus' feet, attentively listening to his words. Overwhelmed, Martha complains to Jesus, asking him to tell Mary to help her. Jesus, however, responds with words that resonate even today. "Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." This episode highlights Mary's uniqueness on many levels. First, she defied the cultural norms of her time. In the Jewish society of the first century, women rarely sat as disciples at the feet of a teacher. This position was reserved for men seeking spiritual growth and learning. By adopting this posture, Mary was not only worshiping but also claiming her place as someone deeply invested in Jesus' message. Her choice wasn't an act of rebellion but of understanding. She recognized that being in Jesus' presence was a rare and precious opportunity. Additionally, her actions teach us about priorities. Martha wasn't doing anything wrong, she was serving. But Mary understood that, at that moment, the greatest need was to listen to Jesus. This lesson transcends the immediate context and challenges us to evaluate our own lives. How often do we let daily demands pull us away from what truly matters? Mary reminds us that God's presence should be our ultimate priority. This passage also underscores a universal contrast between practical obligations and spiritual needs. Often, we are like Martha, busy with responsibilities, missing the chance to connect with the divine. Mary teaches us that worship is not an escape from the world but a conscious choice to place God at the center of our lives. It's not about abandoning what we do but allowing our actions to be rooted in communion with God. The second significant mention of Mary occurs in John 11, in the story of Lazarus' resurrection. When Lazarus becomes gravely ill, Mary and Martha send a message to Jesus, but he delays his arrival. Lazarus dies, and when Jesus finally comes, for days have already passed. Martha runs to meet him, but Mary remains at home until she is called. When she goes to Jesus, she falls at his feet and says, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Her words reflect both her pain and her faith. In this moment, we see a more vulnerable side of Mary. She, who had previously chosen to sit at Jesus' feet in worship, now places herself in the same position in lament. This demonstrates that faith doesn't eliminate suffering but gives us a place to bring it. Mary's sorrow moves Jesus deeply, to the point where he weeps, showing his humanity and compassion. This interaction is a powerful reminder that God is not indifferent to our pain. He is present in it. The climax of Mary's story is in John 12 verses 1 to 8, when she anoints Jesus' feet with pure nard perfume. This event occurs shortly before Passover, during a dinner at Lazarus' house, who had been resurrected. Mary pours the expensive perfume on Jesus and wipes his feet with her hair. The fragrance fills the house, and her act provokes varied reactions. Judas Iscariot criticizes the action, arguing that the perfume could have been sold and the money given to the poor. Jesus, however, defends Mary, saying, "Leave her alone. It was intended that she should save this perfume for the day of my burial." Mary's act was incredibly symbolic. Nard perfume was expensive, representing a year's wages. Pouring it over Jesus was a demonstration of sacrificial worship, an offering without reservations. By wiping his feet with her hair, she broke further cultural conventions, as a woman letting her hair down in public was considered improper. Mary, however, was unconcerned with social norms. Her sole focus was honoring Jesus. Jesus interpreted her act as preparation for his burial, something few around him understood at that moment. Mary seemed to possess a rare spiritual discernment, recognizing the depth of what was to come. She not only worshipped but also understood. Her act was a silent yet powerful proclamation of faith in the sacrifice Jesus was about to make. The story of Mary of Bethany offers profound lessons for our lives. Her devotion challenges us to seek God's presence above all else. Her faith amidst pain encourages us to trust God even when we don't understand His plans. And her sacrificial generosity inspires us to offer our best to God, without reservations. Moreover, Mary's example transcends time and culture, challenging us to live a faith that goes beyond the superficial. Worship is not merely an act, it is a way of life. Mary invites us to reflect: are we choosing what is better? Are we willing to give our best to God, even when the world around us doesn't understand or approve of our actions? Jesus declared that wherever the gospel is preached, what Mary did would be told in her memory. Today, her legacy continues to inspire us to live with a worshipful heart and to offer all we have to our Savior. If you liked this video and want to know more about the characters that surrounded the life of Christ and formed the rich biblical story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and send this video to your friends. Turn on notifications to know when new videos come out.